Hello, Juniors crew. I'm Leah, and this is
Michelle,
and we are running kids ministry at Cornerstone, and so we are so grateful that you have decided to come along for the ride. It's going to be fun. Just want you to know how grateful we are for you. We cannot do this without you, and you play a really vital role at Cornerstone because we love kids and kids matter, and we want kids to experience Jesus very early on. So we are going to be emailing you out a training packet. Please, please, please take the time. It's not going to take very long, but take the time to read through the training packet. Just familiarize yourself with it. But we wanted to highlight a few things just so that you guys are fully prepared to jump in and start loving on these kids and teaching them about Jesus. So the first thing we wanted to highlight is we are going to start using clipboards in the room. And what this is, each kid will get 2 name tags. One goes on themselves and 1 name tag will go on the clipboard. This gives you a real-time sheet of who is in your room. So if you look and there's 5 stickers, there should be 5 kids in your room because that means 5 parents put stickers on the clipboard. So just make sure when parents drop off that they get a sticker on the clipboard. And then when you do checkout, you can utilize the clipboard for that, or you can just match stickers. But parents will also have a parent tag also. So this is just something new we're trying. I hope it makes you guys feel better about who's in your room and knowing how many kids you have. So.
All right, so one thing to note, there should always be 2 volunteers in the room at all times before kids are dropped off. So as with there being 2 volunteers, make sure that the assistant volunteer is standing at the door greeting those kids as they're arriving. So try to greet the kids by name, make them feel comfortable right off the bat, set the tone of relationship right off the bat so that you are trying to build that with the kid. Also, of course, you're going to want to greet the families, make sure that they're putting on the tags. So those assistants will be taking care of that. Meanwhile, the leader will be starting a circle, gathering kids around to get the juniors all engaged as people are starting to arrive. And so there's some games and things that'll be outlined in your lesson plans as you receive them on like the Thursday before you serve, Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there. But so read through that, and that'll give more detail about what kind of activities are going to be happening. However, we just want to make sure that we are building relationship right off the bat.
One thing is each room will have a binder, and your binder will be full of the lessons and supplies, but one of the things that is in it is the rules. And this is just something we really encourage you to go over each week with the kids. We tried to make them as positive as possible, so the first one's be kind, and just give examples. We share our toys, we say please and thank you, and just help to create a good environment. The second one is be safe. Tried to make this as positive as possible, but examples are, no running, no throwing, just ways to keep the kids safe and keep themselves safe. So we just encourage you to go over these each week at some point. Circle time in the beginning would be a good time to go over that, just so that the kids remember what the rules are up front. And then I just encourage you, take ownership of the room. You're in charge, you're the adult in there or the assistant, and I just really want you to feel like you can do what needs to be done to make it a fun, safe learning environment. So if that means doing some timeouts with kids that maybe are just being a little too wild or having a hard time following the rules, feel free to do that. Also feel free to stick your head in the hall and grab the hospitality person if you just need an extra set of hands. And we also can page parents if that's necessary. But again, just take ownership of the room. We want you to feel like you have the authority, like these kids are in your care, so do what needs to be done to keep them safe and create a good learning environment. So,
All right, so as we said previously, there needs to be 2 volunteers in the room at all times. So if for some reason there was some emergency that came up, not feeling well, something like that, and you as a volunteer need to leave the room, please make sure that you contact hospitality or one of the leaders prior to actually exiting the classroom, okay? So that's just one of those expectations. If you've been assigned to volunteer a specific room, we're really counting on you being in there.
And hospitality will help with bathrooms.
Sure.
So you can just, stick your head in the hall, say we need a bathroom break, and hospitality will be walking around checking on rooms for that too. But that's how bathroom breaks will be done.
So as far as lessons, we're going to be using the Kids Spring curriculum. So we are going to be starting with a series called Game Changers. That'll change each for
Yeah.
about every
They're
8
about 8 weeks.
Yeah, so the series will keep going on. But as people are dropping off and checking in, like we talked before, you're going to start with kind of a circle time, getting people started, getting to know each other. There's going to be games that'll be outlined. After that, you're going to go right into worship. You're going to go into a Bible story after worship where you will read or watch a video. Actually, you're going to do both things. So there's a Bible story that you will be able to read, a verse that you can read that ties to that. And then there will be on the flash drive that will be in the TV, you'll have access to a video version of that same story. After that, we'll pray for snack. We'll pass out snack. You as the leaders and assistants can fill out prayer cards. And then you can talk about the memory verse with the kids. And the memory verses will be in the binders for you to be able to have to pass out and talk with them. And there'll be some rewards, a reward system associated with that at some point down the road, but we'll get you more information on that later. Always double check the name tags for allergies prior to giving out any snack. That should be printed directly on the name tags. If you have a new student that maybe has a manual name tag, or for whatever reason it's not there, make sure that if when families are coming in and you're greeting those people, that you're asking those kinds of questions. And I think on the back of this binder, I don't think, did we mention that?
We didn't on this one.
Okay. Sorry, never mind. Scratch that. So at any rate, do your snack, prayer card, memory verse. After that, there's going to be a coloring sheet almost every week that they'll have available if you want to use it. Or you can move on to some free play. During that free play time, it could be right there in the room, or you could even take the kids all to the gym and we have a parachute available, and there's some games in a binder that we'll have available for you as well, so that if you want to teach them a new game, you could do that as well. These guys are kind of little, but the parachute will be fun.
If you're feeling adventurous, you can try it.
Exactly. So we just ask that you make it back to the classroom prior to pickup, and so be cognizant of that time. But otherwise, times are pretty flexible. Okay?
Yeah.
The lesson plans will include some additional information and some things that you can say, some actual verbiage, so you don't have to try to come up with all this on your own. Everything will be laid out for you. But feel free to be flexible, and like Leah was saying, take ownership of the room. So know the kids, know what's going on, and know what they can deal with and handle. So.
Yeah. So like Michelle said, there will be a thumb drive on the TV. Everything should be set up, ready to go. That's where worship will be, and also the video Bible story. So that's where you access that stuff. New kid cards. So this is something we're trying. When there is a new family, you will be notified either by hospitality, like during service they might peek their head and say, hey, this child's new, or maybe the family will say they're new. But some way you will get an indication that there's a new kid. And in the back of the binder, there's a pencil case, and there are no cards in it. And so what we would like you to do is, if there's a new child, either the leader or the assistant, either one can do it, we would like you to write a note to the child and make it as personal as possible. So, hey, Johnny, it was so good to have you on Sunday. I loved playing blocks with you. I hope you have a great week. Something like that. Very simple, but just make it personal. Acknowledge something you did with them or something that you guys did as a group. And then just drop it off to the hospitality desk, and Michelle and I will make sure it gets mailed out to the kid that week. Just a way to let them know we're excited they came, we loved having them, and kids love getting mail. So just something we ask you to do. Breeze is the database that we are using for the church, and so it is how we will communicate with you and how you guys will communicate with each other. The training packet lays it out. You will get an invite from me to Breeze. It will, in the email, lay out what you need to do to sign up. But basically, that is how you will email the team if you need a sub. If you're not able to serve, we ask that you first reach out to the team and see if someone is able to switch your spot, switch weeks, or cover you. And then if you're not able to, you can let Michelle and I know. But another great tool is to email the crew and say, hey, like, I found that with Johnny, like, if you ask him to help you with snack, it helps him, stay, what's the word? Engaged. That's what I was looking for. Stay engaged. Or, hey, I've noticed that, Susie's been having a hard time with drop off, and I found she really likes this toy, or just to help each other out, help us all be successful. So if you have tips or things for the kids, utilize Breeze, email out, let the crew know, so that we're all on the same page. And so
All right. So lastly, just some emergency tips in case of emergency. Hopefully, we don't ever need to use them. But in the event of a fire, you would be notified by hospitality or by one of us as a leader. The first thing you would need to do is do a quick head count, and that should be really easy because you've got that green or that clipboard there. So you're going to be able to look at it, know how many kids you should have, do a head count, and get everybody out. But before you leave the room, please grab that clipboard so that you have it with you on the way out the door. Please familiarize yourself with all of the emergency exits within the building so that depending on where you're at in the building, if something were to happen, you can get to the closest nearest exit. Those would be the front entrance, the corner of the gym, and the auditorium. Those would be the 3 main exits that we're going to be using. So just take a minute when you get into Moran to make sure that you're comfortable with that. Take the kids to the playground area. Make sure that they're not anywhere near the parking lot where the fire trucks would be coming in. And then once you're there, do a second head count just to make sure that you have everybody safe and accounted for. In case of a tornado or a bad storm or something like that, again, protocol would be that the hospitality leader would be letting you all know that, or one of us would let you know that. Again, you're going to do a quick head count. You're going to grab that clipboard, same practice there. You're going to move your kids, however, and your volunteers to the baby's room. So you're going to, instead of staying, you're not going to stay in your room. You're going to leave and you're going to go into the baby's room. And then once you're in that baby's room, please make sure you do a second head count just to make sure that you have everybody accounted for. Otherwise, hopefully we don't need to use that.
Right.
But
so hopefully this information has been really helpful. Again, if you have any questions, please let Michelle and I know. We want to set you up for success. We're super excited. We've been working really hard to get stuff ready for you guys. So thanks so much for watching this, and we will see you guys soon.
Thank you.